Imagine waking up one morning, but you can't get out of bed because there is no bed. Up doesn't exist. Down doesn't exist. Outside the window, a blue and white sphere silently rotates. That sphere is Earth. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station are only 400 kilometers above Earth, yet somehow it feels so far away. Today, I won't talk about rockets, not engines, not fuels, not technical data. Today, we ask, how human can we remain without Earth? Colin Burgess and Chris Dubbs's book, 1 Year in Space, tells space not as a technology showcase, but as a human experience. In this video, we'll explore how astronauts live in space, how zero gravity changes their body and mind, and why everyone returning from space sees Earth differently. If you're ready, let's begin. The International Space Station is not a spaceship. It's not a city, not a sci-fi set. Orbiting roughly 400 kilometers above Earth, traveling at 28,000 kilometers per hour, it is a massive metal structure. Yet the book emphasizes, no matter how advanced ISS is, human biology still belongs to Earth. Inside the station, constant noise, constant vibration, constant confinement. You cannot step outside. You cannot escape the silence. You cannot truly be alone. Astronauts often describe it as a floating glass dome. Becoming an astronaut is not just about being smart. The book clearly says, those who go to space are those who endure. They are tested in confined spaces for months. They are sleep-deprived. They are constantly observed, because in space there is no luxury of losing your temper. A striking line from the book: an astronaut who loses control is more dangerous than a rocket. Astronauts are prepared mentally for the ultimate question: can they survive being cut off from Earth? Launch day arrives and astronauts know this is no ordinary workday. It is the day of leaving Earth. Last calls with family, last hugs, last feeling of gravity. The rocket ignites, and within minutes, Earth slips behind them. But the real journey is only beginning. Zero gravity. At first, it is not fun. Most astronauts say upon arrival, the first thing I felt was not happiness. It was bewilderment. The mind is still on Earth, but the body is somewhere else. The first days are filled with dizziness, nausea, loss of orientation. Space is not romantic. It demands adaptation. Without gravity, muscles weaken. Bones lose calcium. Faces swell. Blood shifts upwards. Astronauts describe this as, my body doesn't feel like mine anymore. And it is not just physical. A mental shift begins as well. Eating in space is not as simple as it sounds. Without gravity, food does not stay on your plate. Liquids float as tiny spheres, and crumbs can drift and damage equipment. Astronauts use special containers, Velcro, and straws. Even pouring water becomes a careful procedure. Meals are often freeze-dried or packaged, relying on precise preparation. Yet, despite these challenges, food becomes a comfort. A familiar taste reminds astronauts of Earth. It's one of the few small anchors in the vast emptiness of space. Every bite requires patience. Every meal is a delicate balancing act. And for many, eating in zero gravity is both a challenge and a ritual. A quiet moment of human normalcy in an extraordinary environment. Sleep in space is unlike anything on Earth. Astronauts are strapped into small sleeping bags, floating inside cramped compartments. Outside, Earth spins rapidly, and sunrises pass every 90 minutes. Day and night lose their meaning. The brain struggles to keep track of time. Days blend together. Even the simplest routines can feel surreal. Sleeping becomes a necessary skill, not just a biological need. And yet, sleep is never complete. The body floats, the mind stays alert. Time is warped, but life goes on. Bathrooms in space are complicated. Astronauts must use mechanical systems designed for zero gravity. There is no flushing as we know it. Everything is contained, carefully stored, and recycled. The process is highly technical and must be followed precisely. Mistakes can be messy, even dangerous. Yet it is also routine. Astronauts adapt quickly, and it becomes just another part of life in orbit. Even the bathroom highlights one truth. In space, nothing is simple, but everything is manageable. The mental challenge of space is enormous. Even with colleagues around, isolation is constant. Earth feels close, yet unreachable. Astronauts describe long moments of introspection. Boredom, tension, and emotional highs and lows are amplified. Coping strategies include communication with Earth, exercise, personal routines. Yet the mind often drifts toward memories, worries, or philosophical thoughts. Space changes the way people think. It sharpens the mind, but also tests it like never before. One of the most profound experiences is seeing Earth from above. Borders disappear, oceans and clouds dominate the view. Astronauts describe a feeling of awe and a sense of unity with all life. This is called the overview effect. Suddenly, humanity feels smaller. Earth feels fragile and yet precious. Many astronauts say it changes them forever. They return with a new perspective, a deeper connection to our planet and each other. Space is beautiful, but unforgiving. A simple mistake can be catastrophic. Radiation, equipment failure, micrometeoroids. Every element of danger is magnified. Even during routine spacewalks, astronauts feel the fragility of human life. The vast emptiness of space emphasizes how small and vulnerable we are. Yet, every risk is calculated, and every astronaut trains to respond precisely. Coming home is harder than leaving. Re-entry is physically jarring. Bodies weakened by months in zero gravity struggle to stand. Astronauts take their first steps on Earth slowly. Every movement is a reminder of gravity's pull. Yet there is joy in returning. Family, fresh air, and the familiar feel like miracles. But something has changed. They are no longer the same as when they left. After a year in space, life is seen differently. Every small detail of Earth feels precious. Life, time, and human connection take on a new meaning. Astronauts often pause, looking at the sky, reflecting on their journey. Space is more than science or technology. It is a mirror for humanity, showing what it means to be alive and what it means to belong to a planet.